Hello, Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post these videos up to social media. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom shakalaka done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. They have over 40,000 therapists working for them. They have master's level and PhD level therapists. They are awesome. Go to www.betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez, fill out a questionnaire, and they will place you with someone appropriate in your area or one that can do international. So thank you, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, on to the question. Okay, why do they abandon their kids from previous relationships? I'm so angry. Okay, well, yeah, okay, so they abandon their kids because they don't want to be responsible for anything or anybody, and it makes them angry when they have to emotionally support somebody because they don't have emotions. And when they get into a new relationship, they want nothing to do with any child that they've adopted, any child that they've had, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I can speak from personal experience. So my dad had a first wife, and they had two kids, my brother and my sister, half brother, half sister. And when he got involved with my mom, he basically kind of just had not much to do with them. My mom was the one that made sure that they had shoes and taken care of, and came over and all of this stuff. So essentially it was kind of like dad had this whole new family, and so he just kind of like, well, you're nothing, because remember, we have no more meaning to them than this phone. Seriously, we are an object to be used, and as soon as we outlive our usefulness or whatever, then they abandon us because we don't have feelings. They don't have feelings. We don't have feelings. Why should we care? Seriously, they think everyone feels and thinks and acts the same way they do, which is why they project, which is why they accuse people of doing the things that they would be doing, that kind of thing. So they abandon the kids from previous relationships because they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be bothered. I mean, my dad's biggest hue and cry was, as soon as everyone's 18, I'm kicking you all out and I'm not speaking to you again, and da-da-da-da-da-da, crazy. But then again, it's like, and then he would flip it and be like, oh, but you all need to, come and see me and pay homage, basically. And we're all just kind of like, yeah, we're all going to move about 2,000 miles away. Thanks. So they do that. They abandon the children that they've had in previous relationships. And they'll go to extreme lengths to have a child to trap the partner. So they'll do, in vitro, they'll do adoption, they'll do whatever. And then as soon as that relationship is done and they've moved on to their next target of abuse, they now don't want the child. It's the same thing with people that adopt animals and then throw them away when times get tough. It just angers me to the core. So they just do that. They do it because they don't want to be bothered. They do it because it reminds them of the previous relationship. They do it because perhaps they've gotten involved with another narcissist who does not want that child around. I mean, there's lots of things that could be going on, but yeah, they absolutely do that. And a lot of times it's just that they don't care. They don't want to be bothered. They absolutely, in my dad's case, he didn't want to be bothered. Go away, kid, you bother me. That was kind of his thing. And then my mom was the one to make sure that my brother and my sister were taken care of, had shoes, came over and visit. They, she'd pick them up, she'd drop them off, she'd, the whole thing. So, And unfortunately, the kids take it personally because they're kids. You're raised to get your sense of self from your parent. Now, if you have a healthy, normal parent, it's going to be an accurate mirroring kind of reflection, kind of self-esteem, who you are in the world, that you're loved, the whole thing. With a narcissist, this is the narcissist. It's like a funhouse mirror. It's warped. It's not reality. And so the kid, when they get abandoned by the parent, believes that it's something they said or they did or who they are or whatever, and it's not. And it's really important to help kids through that. So if your little ones or if your siblings have been abandoned and replaced by another family, you got to let them know it's not them. It is not them. Oh my God, it is not them. They are not the problem. Kids are not the problem. The adults are, and the disordered adult specifically is. So it's not the kid's fault. There was nothing that the kid could have said or done to not be abandoned, basically. They don't want the responsibility. They don't want the hassle. They don't want the reminder. In some cases, it's because it's the connection to the ex that they don't want that reminder, because if the ex was able to get away from them, that's a loss for the narcissist, and narcissists cannot stand losing. And they also don't see other people as individuals. They see them as objects to be used. And as soon as their usability is gone, as soon as the battery is gone, they just toss and get a new one. And they don't think twice about it. They don't think about how is this affecting these kids. They don't think about the self-esteem. They don't care. You got to understand, you're dealing with somebody who looks human. They sure as bleep don't act like it. So they do not care what the abandonment does to the kid. And they don't care what it does to the child's self-esteem. They don't care what it does to their sense of who they are in the world. So if you're dealing with anyone who's been abandoned by a narcissist, by an abuser, you got to make sure to tell them, hey, it's not you, it's them. That's not normal. Healthy parents, oh my God, cannot wait to see their kids. Oh my goodness. I mean, I did not birth any of these children that I hang out with, but my nieces and nephews, my great nieces, my great nephews, I can't wait to see them. Holy cow. It's like, it's you, and that's what a healthy parent should be doing, is they should be excited to be with their kids and happy to see their kids and enjoying their children and, all of that good stuff. Narcissists don't. They don't enjoy us. Absolutely. If we're having fun, they will make sure to ruin it because they can't feel. And they don't want anybody to have something that they don't have. And children are nothing but feeling factories. That's what they are. We feel, we, experience, we have wonderment, we have joy, we have everything. And oh man, it makes them angry and they don't want to be around it. They don't want to be around it. They want every little kid to be like a little adult, a little mini me, seen and not heard, which was my father's favorite saying. Children should be seen and not heard. And I'm just like, okay, Victorian dysfunctional, what the F? No, children should be seen and heard, and they need to be validated, and they need to be acknowledged, and they need to be loved, and they need to be told they're awesome, and that's where they get their self-esteem, you dip. Don't get me started. So, yeah, that's what's going on. They don't want to be bothered. And or it reminds them of their ex, and they don't want to be reminded of having lost, because they can't stand losing. So, hold on a second, the second half of this question. My dad wishes my stepbrother, who he adopted and raised, to believe he is his son, would just go away. Do they abandon their kids from previous relationships? Yeah, they absolutely do. The child needs to know it's not his fault. It's not his fault. And if the child has not been informed, it depends on how old the kiddo is, but if the child has not been informed that he's been adopted, that's a conversation that needs to happen when they're fairly young. Seriously, because the worst thing, guys, listen, you don't want a kid to find out that they're adopted when they're in their 50s. Trust me on that one. That happened to a family member of ours. Parent didn't tell them. It came out because there was an old biddy that decided it was her business. And so she informed the person that they were adopted, and it caused a huge amount of upset for the person that found out they were adopted and everybody else in the family. And it was just, and of course that old biddy can go bite it, but you know what I'm saying? And again, it's like, well, what was your goal, sweetheart? What was that all about? What were you trying to do? Because generally people who do that kind of gossiping, narcissists, are known gossips. They love to cause upset. They love to cause trouble. So, yeah, you want to let somebody who's adopted know that they're adopted. They may want to go seek their birth family. And sometimes that in and of itself could be an issue, and things need to be discussed, because sometimes the birth family is toxic and dysfunctional, and there's a reason that child was adopted out, and they need to go in with eyes wide open, because there have been cases of adopted kids seeking the birth family only to be like, holy crap, now I need an order of protection, now I need to get these people away from me, that kind of thing. Conversely, and in our family's case, it worked out well. Found the birth mom, was able to talk to him, had a whole bunch of other relatives, and it was really healing and great. So you just got to go in with eyes wide open. But children should be told that, and they shouldn't be led on to believe that, oh, this is my son. But again, that's what a narcissist does. A narcissist is like, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my, and they don't tell them that they are adopted because they don't want to lose the power. Don't get me started. So anyway, there is that. I hope that answered the question. All right, York is on Sunday, August 4th, not Monday the 5th. That was wrong in my chrisgodinez.com appearances. So if you're still interested in going to York, it is on Sunday, not Monday. I will be seeing you guys in, where am I going? I'm going to Washington. If you're interested to get tickets, or Philadelphia or Nashville, those are the ones that are coming up, and York, you can go to chrisgodinez.com. All right. And remember, there will be no show on the 21st. No show. I'm taking the weekend off. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Bye.